Every once in a while, you are fortunate enough to witness true masters at work. Whether on the athletic fields or in the kitchen, true masters hold a quiet confidence no matter their discipline. In the wild Appalachian forest in North Carolina, I was fortunate to witness this quiet confidence between man and dog. Stephen Faust of Stoneybrook Gordon Setters spends more than 200 days afield following grouse and woodcock. With gun dogs he has bred for generations. Stephen's dedicated life in the uplands inspires me in many ways. To watch him and his dogs mile after mile in the forests of North Carolina makes me rethink just what is possible with enough time, patience, and dedication to wild birds. Woodcock, a mysterious and unique migratory bird. They migrate hundreds of miles between northern breeding areas and southern wintering grounds. Here one day and gone the next. They probe for earthworms in the soil and often sit tight upon approach, relying on their excellent camouflage. But of course, if you're hunting behind a Stoneybrook Gordon setter, there is no hiding from a finely tuned nose. So we're down here in Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina, hunting woodcock. It's the beginning of the season down here in North Carolina. We're meeting up with Stephen Faust of Stoneybrook Gordon Setters. I've known Stephen for a few years now, spoken to him a lot about grouse hunting, but this is my first time seeing his Gordon Setters and couldn't be more excited about it.
This is Arlo. This is my big imported male. He's a svelte 75 pounds. He's hunted every day this season from Minnesota to here, so he's ready to go.
Growing up, Dad had English setters and English pointers, and I loved the bird dogs. That was always my favorite aspect of hunting. We hunted everything, but I really loved the bird dogs, and watching a dog point birds was really special. We did a lot of wild quail hunting in eastern North Carolina and woodcock. I just fell in love with the little bird right off the bat. So I got my first Gordon setter, and I just never looked back. It's just, she was very special, and they're a special breed, and it's just something I've really enjoyed and fallen in love with. Sasha, here, come here. Put that on. Here, hop up here, come on. That a girl. Get your little belly, give me some kisses. She loves to go.
I'm amazed that one breed can display so much variety. The Gordon setters out west will range for hundreds of yards trying to locate birds in wide open terrain. Here, the ground is full of hills and creek bottoms with thick cover in places, and the dogs work very differently.
I'll walk in and flush, so I'll try to get in there. Nerd! Oh, short hopper.
It's amazing to see how cautious they are. They're very feline-like. It's not at all what I'm used to hunting behind a flushing dog, where things tend to happen very fast. It's really enjoyable being able to take things slower and Get a nice approach.
All right, come on up the hill a little bit, up this way. Isn't it amazing they just disappear? I don't know if he might have flushed again. Sometimes they'll land like that. And oh, he's right there. Good dog.
Yeah, walk right up to this.
Bird! Did you hit it or did he just land?
No, I don't think I hit him. I hunt behind a flushing dog, so I'm used to getting a pretty clear indication of when the dog is pretty close to scent. With Steven's dogs, some of them were locking up at a distance, and their head direction is the only indication of what direction the bird is in. And they're so steady that you walk up in front of him and you're kind of kicking around looking for that needle in a haystack, which is a woodcock amongst the leaf foliage.
Wild Upland is brought to you by Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. And by Browning, the best there is. Fiocchi, your upland ammo for every pursuit. Onyx, know where you stand. Lucky Duck, loyalty goes both ways.
From the moment you step into the woods with Steven, you realize this is an upland hunt unlike any other. It is a gentleman's hunt. The pace, the quiet stillness, the sudden stop of their ringing bells. The world suddenly slows down and you enjoy every moving moment. Steven and his Gordons have spent countless hours in the woods together, each learning from and teaching the other. It's all he does, and it's all he's done, for the past several decades now, dedicated his entire life to it. So just being able to pick his brain about different patterns, habitat, what he's learned from the amount of time he spends in the woods, that's really irreplaceable, that firsthand experience, as well as just picking his brain about his dogs and how he approaches training from a far more natural standpoint.
That's how I start my puppies. I only work wild birds. I don't start them on pigeons or pen-raised quail or anything. I start them in the obedience, and once they've got all that down, I take them hunting. I let them see what they're going to learn, what they're going to do. My puppies, I teach them whoa. I think whoa is super important in the bird dog world. Probably the most important command, because I can stop them on a dime. And even the old dogs, they might not see the other dog pointing in a thick spot. So it's nice to be able to stop them. So I teach my puppies to whoa, I take them hunting. And in the woods, when the old dog is pointing a woodcock or grouse, whatever, and I can whoa that puppy and let that puppy see what's going on. And if we're not shooting, and if I'm not in the way, I can actually pick up that little puppy and get it up there.
I'm planning to pick up a pointing breed in the next few months, so being able to pick Steven's brain on his philosophy on training with these dogs and their exposure to wild birds was really invaluable. But the level of caution that these dogs presented was something that I've never really witnessed. And I've hunted behind plenty of pointing dogs, but the respect that these dogs give the bird was really just something else. So being able to ask him about how he encourages that, and what he does outside of the woods, and it's a whole lot of fun and something new for me, and it's going to be a part of my next chapter as well. A mild December has made for a slow start to the season, but with the coming weather fronts, more and more birds will begin their migration. This is wild country, and if you time it right, you may just find some upland gold in these hills. It's mid-December down here in North Carolina, which is actually just the beginning of the woodcock season here. In Pennsylvania, that's long closed. So it's different for me chasing birds this late in the season. At this point, Usually deer is on my mind back in Pennsylvania, so switching back into wing shading was really fun and an excuse to draw out the season. Oh, it's right here.
You see it? There you go.
Damn it. He came down.
Did you hit it? I couldn't. The first shot, I swear, I thought I saw feathers. Whoa, good dog.
A little bit rusty early in the hunt. Just getting my rhythm and, again, kind of adapting to a different type of setup. Fortunately, after, I think, over 10 or 11 miles in the course of the day, ended up bagging a bird.
It's gonna go straight out that way. Whoa, whoa. There you go. Got that one. Back. Easy. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it, Neary. Leave it. Good dog.
That's awesome.
Good dog. A little bit left. Good dog. Congratulations.
Thank you. Felt good about it, and really felt, more than anything, super excited about the dog work that we're able to witness in the course of the day. You know, heart pumping at times, just watching them lock up and relocate, and everything that led up to the flush itself was just so enjoyable and stretched out as long as possible in a way that it's like a really good movie that you don't want to end in a way. The woodcock hunter is found in a small, dedicated group, often having the hills and creek bottoms all to himself, hoping and praying for a good flight. Down here, it's public land, of course, and Steve informed me that a lot of people really just don't hunt woodcock that much down here. You know, he doesn't run into a bunch of upland hunters, and the resource is really here, and it's available to, you know, anyone who's willing to work for it. By no means is it easy. As I mentioned, we covered about 11 miles yesterday, up and down little rolling hills and creek bottoms, but it's here, and it's a place that we could chase these wild birds, in a wild place that, you know, you're not going to run into another hunter potentially all day. And that's really valuable for an upland hunter and an, you know, increasingly pressured hunting environments. Being able to have places like this that also provide habitat to such a valuable wild bird, a native bird, migratory bird that relies on these places as it moves further south to, you know, breeding grounds and then back home. It's really valuable habitat to have, and I feel really fortunate to be able to chase these birds through these woods.
Left of the one on the left. Go to the left of Arlo. She's really backing him, but here's chalk right here, so good dog. Cool. There's chalk all over.
So we get in some of these areas and there was chalk everywhere. There was clear signs that woodcock had been there, but you know, in some cases the chalk was old and they might have been there 2 days ago and pushed out. In a lot of cases, it was pretty fresh, and we knew birds were still in the area, but they could have hopped over to a creek bottom nearby, and it was a lot of piecing things together. But at the same time, it adds an element to the puzzle of figuring them out, knowing that they've been here and not necessarily, you know, are still here. And that's the fun part about hunting woodcock as well as other migratory birds, is that they could be here one day and gone the next.
All right, what you got? Right here. You're still flagging. Oh, here's chalk. Oh, so that is chalk, whitewash, splash. It's just poop, woodcock poop, and you can see it's very wet still, so it's fresh. It dries out pretty quickly, so it's fresh until just not long ago. And there's a lot of scent in this little valley right here, so he more than likely just hopped somewhere to spend the day. A bird will.
Woodcock are tiny, mysterious migratory birds. We have only recently begun to understand their migration flyways and behavior. And thanks to organizations like the Rough Grouse Society and American Woodcock Society, we learn more every year.
Woodcock are a fascinating little game bird. They're migratory. So their habitat in the north and their habitat in the south are going to be similar yet different. They like, the biologists will tell you, 1,500 vertical stems per acre. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on what's under there, depending on how wet a year it's been, dry a year. They have to be able to probe for worms, even though worms are not 100% their diet. They have to have a good leaf litter to flip over the leaves. They eat lots of little things under the leaves as well. As we're learning in the banding and some of the GPS data that we're starting to get back from some of that, their migratory routes are different from what we used to believe. They're actually crossing the mountains. Last year we had one come down from Minnesota to southwest Michigan, across Ohio, and actually cut through western North Carolina and then went southwest to the Gulf Coast. Things like that we never knew they did before, but they know these routes. They know where they can find cover along the way. Once they get down here, it's a lot of creek bottoms where the ground is moist, the probing's easier. They can find worms and other invertebrates.
I am being drawn in deeper and deeper into these quiet hills. Only the ring of a bell and the crunch of leaves underfoot can be heard. I find myself as an active participant in something much greater. A play orchestrated beyond my own reach. I know I am watching true masters at work.
That's always exciting when they lock up. These dogs are so cautious. They hit a little bit of scent. It could be even some fresh scat on the ground, and they're frozen in time. Very, very stealthy, very feline-like. And the trouble is these woodcock blend in so well naturally with the canopy, with the leaves. You can walk right by them and have no idea. So you really do count on the quality of the dog's nose more than anything.
Hey guys, bird.
Let's go over here around point. These woodcock blend in so well naturally with the canopy, with the leaves. You can walk right by them and have no idea. So you really do count on the quality of the dog's nose more than anything.
Hey guys, bird.
Let's go over here around point. Whoa, good.
There it goes.
My time in the woods with Stephen and his Gordon setters has given me much more than any bag limit could ever offer. It has made me smile more at the simple things and wonder more on the complexities of a tiny bird, a well-trained gun dog, and my own future in the uplands.
Well, it's good. So that looks like a juvenile male with the bands on the end of the feathers there, the light markings. That's a juvenile, where the one yesterday was an adult male. So that's good. It's a little different. Juvenile male. Male birds, like I said, they're polygamous, so taking all the male birds is fine. Doesn't hurt the population really in the long term. If we could only tell the sex on the flesh like a pheasant, that would be nice. Well, congratulations. Good shot.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
So the past couple days have been great here in Maury National Forest. Stephen's a real Southern gentleman in every way. He's a wealth of knowledge on grouse and woodcock hunting. I've learned so much more from sharing these covers with him and his dogs as well. There's a lot to be said about, a master of a craft, and that's something that both Stephen and his dogs really are. And I've learned a lot from both of them that I can apply into the future as a hunter personally, as well as, training my future pointing breed.
My favorite part of this, without a doubt, no question, is the dogs. I tell people all the time, if you take my guns away, I'll still run my dogs. I'd be out there in a heartbeat. I do it all the time anyway without a gun. If you take my dogs away, I wouldn't tromp around through the woods by myself, hoping to bump into a bird. It just wouldn't be fun. I love to watch the dogs work. I love watching puppies learn. I love to see them develop. I love to see the old dog. I love to see Blue. Blue's a master at this. But you can put a dog like that on the ground and just go hunting. You don't have to talk to him. It's just you. And that's how his dad was too. His dad was just, and we'd go hunting all day and I didn't have to talk to him. I love that. I love the partnership that's there, the bond.
Despite the approach on these birds being slow and methodical, the shooting is as tough as you'll find. The hunting has been very good. The birds aren't moving in number just yet because of the weather. It's still very early in the season. The hunting was challenging. They really made us work for it. The shooting opportunities were pretty good. We ended up, fortunately, coming home with a couple woodcock for the table. But more than anything, I feel far richer in experience. That's where I put the most value in, and this trip has certainly not left me empty-handed. So I'm really grateful for that, and I can't wait to come back.